So I look totally different today because yesterday I made the bold decision to free myself. And when I say free myself, what I mean is for a long time, I was hiding because I had been growing my hair out. And I was growing my hair out, I realized yesterday, not for myself, but for other people. I'm going to say that again. Yesterday, I realized that I, for the last 8 months, have been growing my hair out and I had been hiding. And I had been growing my hair out, not for myself, but for other people, because other people had always told me that they loved my curls, my hair, and I had this beautiful, full, flourishing, curly afro that was amazing and that I loved. But you know what? I was hiding. And I was hiding behind my hair, behind sunglasses, behind hats, because I myself was struggling with my own belief system, with my own concept around the idea of one word: beauty. Yes, beauty. A lot of us hear things like beauty is skin deep and beauty is within and beauty radiates from deep within, right? A lot of us hear these concepts being thrown around about beauty, and it's all well and good, but the truth is, if you don't actually physically, internally, at the depths of yourself, believe in the meaning of these things, believe in the fact that beauty is within, then you yourself are mistakenly believing things, but you don't really feel them inside. And that's how I was feeling. For a long time, I was told whenever I was going to do something dramatic with my hair, right, that if I cut it, I'll look like a man. Or if I cut it, oh my gosh, why would you do that? It's so beautiful. Don't cut it. Right? You have such beautiful curls. Don't cut it. But I was living from someone else's standard of what beauty meant for me. And how many of us hold on to a standard of beauty because we believe that that's how I should look, or that's how I should feel, or that's what will be acceptable? For a long time, what I was doing was I was holding on to parts of myself that people thought were acceptable, that made me feel that because other people thought it was acceptable, that made me beautiful. That made me feel like I was the one that was beautiful because other people told me looking this way makes you feel beautiful, or looking this way, you are beautiful. So today I wanted to talk about this whole concept of beauty because, especially for women, it's something that is attached to who we are as people, right? People commend you as a woman on your beauty because it's part of the makeup of who we are historically, right? We are thought of as women, as people that used to be just seen as for our attractiveness, just seen as how pleasing we are to men, just seen as how pleasing we are to whomever is around. But as you know, all of that is about belief systems. All of that is about belief systems. And I have been doing a lot of self-searching and self-discovery. So yesterday, I came to a decision, you know what? Despite the fact that I have worked really hard to grow my hair back to a very healthy state, I'm gonna shave it all off today. And you know why I decided to shave it all off? It was because I needed to free myself from concepts, from belief systems that I had been holding on to for way too long. And I had to let myself go. I had to free myself from this attachment that I had with my own hair. How many of us are attached to parts of ourselves and we are sort of ruled by those parts of ourselves? They're not freeing us, they're kind of holding us back. They're suppressing parts of who we really are. And when you start to step away from the belief systems and the programs, right? Because everything is about programs that we've been internalizing, that we've been installing in our minds since childhood about what beauty looks like, what makes us stand out, who we are. When we start to let go of those things, something really special and unique happens. And that really special and unique thing that happens is you start to make room for your authenticity, honey. You start to make room for your authenticity. And I hadn't been making room for my authenticity. And when I think about making room for authenticity, I think about how much that is tied to all of the things that we consume, right? Because when we think about beauty, it's about the eyes. It's about all the things that we are daily, routinely consuming. And, you know, when I was a little kid, there was a lot less to consume because there wasn't really the advancement of technology that we have now, right? So there was only like books, magazines, the radio, and television in the early 90s. And then all of a sudden in the late 90s, 1999, 2000, right? There was this boom of the internet where you have access to all of these images. And when you have access to all of these images, that has an effect on your psyche, right? It has an effect on you understanding who you are. Because I was reading something and it said, it's not only your belief systems of how you feel about yourself when you think about beauty, when you think about anything that you assign to yourself. It's really about all of the things that you are consuming with all your five senses. Your taste, your smell, your environment around you, what you're hearing, what you're listening to. All of those things play a role in your belief systems. So the more that we have become advanced in technology, and look, I'm not a technology hater. I'm a technology lover. I always say I'm a tech fan. I love the way that technology has dramatically united people together. But it has also dramatically opened the door to the amount of content and visions and images that we consume on a daily basis. And that can be a lot of confusion for your mind when you're trying to be your authentic self, when you're trying to develop your own concept of embracing your true self and embracing the beauty of who you truly are, right? So when we think about beauty, it's really about what we've accepted and what we've consumed over the years of who we are. And you know, I break down things all the time. And I want to give you, before I break down things, a little bit of a personal story, a little bit of what I've been up to. So for a long time, I didn't have any interest in makeup or anything of that sort. But now I'm at a stage where I am really interested. And so I found myself going on Instagram and starting to follow and consume content from people who were into the makeup industry. And so I found myself feeling like, oh my gosh, I need to start wearing makeup in order to feel beautiful, in order for my beauty to shine through. And I started following people who are about hair, and I started to say, I have to have these products in order for my hair to be popping, right? In order for my curls to be popping, in order for me to feel the beauty that I am, and for other people, right? That's another one, to recognize the beauty that I have inside. Because a lot of times beauty is not really about us. It's about what other people perceive of us, right? The reason I kept my hair for so long is because my mom told me that's what was beautiful about me. And so as a kid, I consumed that. That's what's beautiful about me. That's what makes me unique, my hair. And you know, hair is a very spiritual thing, right? Hair, for many people, is a form of antenna. It's a form of better connecting with the spirits. It's a form of better connecting with the universe. And there's a lot of spirituality that's connected to that. And there's a lot of beauty in growing your hair long and feeling really free. And I was attaching myself to that concept. Well, if I shave my head, I'm not being spiritual. But then I had a moment where I thought to myself, no, wait a minute. Monks are spiritual and they are not connected to their hair. They shave their heads. And I thought to myself and I realized, you know what? It's all about how you perceive beauty. So I like to watch films. You know this about me. There's this great, it's not a film, but it's a series. There's this great series on Netflix. And it's now in its second season. It just released last Friday. And the series is called She's Gotta Have It. And it's done by one of my favorite filmmakers of all time, Mr. Spike Lee. And in this beautiful, once was a film, She's Gotta Have It originally, and now it's actually a series. But in this series, there's this character, and her name is Shemeka. And in the series, she goes through her own experience, her own journey with accepting herself and accepting her beauty. And there's this scene that has haunted me for a really long time where she actually goes to this motel because she wants to become a dancer. And she wants to become a dancer who is tantalizing and sexy, and she feels like she's not that because she doesn't have a big enough butt. And because she doesn't have a big enough butt, she feels like she's not beautiful, and she's not going to be tantalizing, and she's not going to be sexy. So she goes to this back alley motel in these unsafe conditions, not knowing what she is injecting into her body, and she gets these butt shots. And she goes through this whole painful process of getting infected and all of these things because she herself is not happy with how she looks. And you know, the reason this scene really affected me and this experience by this character really affected me is because I could feel not about the outward beauty, but the inner pain that she felt. Not about the pain of getting a butt injection, but the inner pain that she felt of years of hearing all of these things about what she's not. Right? Our parents, our teachers, whomever we grow up with, right? From our years of 0 to 7 years old, we are absorbing programming, absorbing information about who we are. So whether our parents intend to or not, they are shaping and molding us. And as adults, as we step into adulthood, our role is really to unlearn all of the things that we have learned so that we can get closer to our authentic self. A friend once told me that there was an article by Ariana Huffington, right, who runs the Huffington Post. And she said, a lot of us think that when we step into authenticity, right, we are shedding parts of ourselves and we are becoming our truer self. But really, what it is when we're stepping into our beauty or stepping into our authenticity, really what it is when we're stepping into our beauty and stepping into our authenticity is that we are whittling away all the parts of ourselves that we have put onto ourselves. And instead, we are learning when we whittle down ourselves like a piece of wood and we shape ourselves for ourselves. That is who we are at the core. Once we shed ourselves of all the programs and all the layers and all the concepts of beauty that we've been told we're supposed to be, we are able to awaken our true self. And we're able to see with our good eye. And that good eye, honey, is this one right here. This is your good eye, that third eye. So when you are consuming, remember, you are consuming with your 5 senses, honey. What you taste, what food you're eating, what you smell, what you see, what you hear. All of those things play a role in who you think you are. So be mindful, be aware, look with your third eye, right? I love social media. I love Instagram. I love Facebook. I love all of it. But be mindful of what you are consuming. Be aware of how what you are consuming is affecting you. You know, there's this whole movement. I mean, it's not new or anything, but there's this whole movement of women who have perfectly long, short, healthy, beautiful hair, wearing wigs, not even weaves, but wigs, right? And it's just become this norm. And when I was exploring makeup in the beauty industry, I started to feel, what, do I need a wig? Maybe I need a wig. You know, and it comes back to this concept of covering up the beauty that we are with other people, other companies, other brands, concepts, and programs of what we really should look like based on their understanding. So be mindful, be open, and be aware. Now, you know, I love etymology. I love looking at the breakdown of words and where they come from. And I looked up the original meaning of beauty. And it comes from the Latin word bellus. And the word bellitatum actually means the state of being good, being, let me look at my notes because I want to get this exactly right. Exactly right. And you know, we're live, so yes. So it comes from the Latin word bellitatum, which means a state of being pleasing to the senses. And it also comes from the Old English used in the 14th century, B-E-A-L-T-E, beauty, right? Which means goodness and courtesy. And when you think about that, right? When you think about a state of being pleasing to the senses, whose senses is it being pleasing to? You, right? I also looked up one of the original meanings that was in one of the original Webster dictionaries, the Old English Webster Dictionary, in 1828. And there was this passage, and it said that beauty consists of what is pleasing to the eye of the beholder. Beauty consists of what is pleasing to the eye of the beholder. And when you think about that, when you think about the fact that beauty has to do with you, the beholder, that all stems from your own personal belief systems of who you are. And when you think about your own personal belief systems of who you are, it's just like any other muscle in your body. You have to build it up, right? In order for us to install new programs, sometimes we have to wipe away old programs, right? Think about a computer. Sometimes there are programs you have to uninstall. Sometimes there are ideas, belief systems that you have been told for your entire life, but you have to uninstall in order for you to see your true beauty. I had to uninstall the idea that I was attached to my hair and my hair was what defined me, so that I could set myself free, so that I could have more clarity on my own authenticity. I want to challenge you today to look in the mirror, and I want you to think about something when you look there. This is something I challenge myself to every day. I want you to spend time. If you can spend 5 minutes, that's amazing. If you have to spend less, that's okay too. At least 1 minute, 2 minutes. I want you to really look at yourself in the mirror. But when you look at yourself, I challenge you not to look with a critical eye of, oh, my wrinkles or my eyes look this or that. No. When you look at yourself in the mirror today, I want you to look in a way where you are looking for your beauty and you are only focusing on what makes you beautiful. I mean, hey, now that I don't have any hair, I gotta look at my face, honey, because that's all that's all that there is, right? But I want to encourage you today to really look at yourself as the beautiful being that you are. Spend time observing yourself with love. Even if you have to speak to yourself, I am beautiful. I am beautiful. I am beautiful. If you need to say mantras to yourself, say it. We are installing new programs. We are consuming information about ourselves every day, every moment. So be in control of what you are consuming by creating your own content for yourself. Creating your own feelings for yourself. Creating how you want to feel when you look in the mirror. So spend some time today looking in the mirror at yourself. And remember that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And you, my friend, my love, are the beholder. So think about what you want to see, what you want to consume. And if you're following people on social media that when you look at their content, it doesn't make you feel good, you gotta unfollow them, honey. If you're watching things that don't make you feel good, you gotta stop watching those things, honey. This is your life. You are in control. You are the beholder. So spend some time today looking at yourself in the mirror, coming up with your own program, your own system, your own mantras about what you believe about your own beauty. And when you're done, take some time and write down things that you notice about yourself that made you feel good and made you feel beautiful. And I know this is not easy, okay? I know it's not easy to look in the mirror and find beautiful parts of yourself every day. Sometimes we were like, ugh, I don't feel good. It's okay. But I challenge you to find at least 2 things today when you do this mirror challenge, at least 2 things looking at yourself in the mirror that you find beautiful about yourself. Every night before I go to bed, I tell myself what I'm proud of. And every morning when I look in the mirror, I tell myself how grateful I am to be alive, to be here, to have choices, to dress the way I want to dress, to look the way I want to look. You are the person that is in control of determining your own programs for yourself, your own concept of beauty. So fill yourself with good things. Write down mantras that make you feel good. If you need to say to yourself, I'm a freaking badass, I'm a bad bitch, whatever it is that you need to say to yourself to make yourself feel good, write those things down. And then tomorrow, when you look at yourself in the mirror, repeat those mantras to yourself. Create your own content to consume, my friends, my loves. Beauty is in here. But if you don't believe what's in here, you're not going to see it. So create your own concepts, your own sense of beauty for yourself. Consume content that makes you feel good. And if it makes you feel anything other than good and positive, unfollow it. Unplug from it. You know, I made that video about unplugging from the matrix when I first started this birthday challenge for myself. If you haven't watched it, watch it. These programs, these apps, this social media, these are all parts of the matrix. And sometimes you need to turn your phone off. You need to unplug from it, honey. And that's okay. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It's what's pleasing to the beholder. You are the beholder in your own life. Create the beauty that you want. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate it as always. If you're interested in topics like this, check out my podcast. Now it's on all platforms. It's called Letters from Mars Podcast, Mars with a Z. Thank you so much for watching. I see you. I appreciate you. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching and have a beautiful day. Remember, you are beautiful every moment. Every freaking moment. Embrace it all. Much love to you. Have a beautiful day.